Hey everybody,
Nice.
welcome to the Toy Duo team. We're going to talk about action figures, reveals, pop culture, and of course the Ghostbusters HasLab. Roll the music.
I feel the need for
And TV and movies too.
Oh, there was a little bit of technical difficulties getting started because StreamYards must have changed stuff up because all of our intro videos were gone, so I had to upload it really quick. But Dan is still storing nuts for winter.
Oh, yeah, it's not over yet.
To keep working, man.
Yeah, I got a ways to go.
Tiger Force guy John is here. Is there a new Tiger Force figure coming out?
No, this was the year. 1988 was the first year for Night Force and Tiger Force G.I. Joe.
Wow, that's some news.
And
what?
And more.
Oh, and Sir Eric's here today. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Thanks. Yeah. Recovering from a back injury.
Yeah. Rick is having some serious internet difficulties, and I almost thought that there was a Comic-Con in Vancouver, so I thought that he might be going to that, but I think it really just has to do with that internet. Anyways, let's say hi to some people in the chat. We got Mr. B saying hello, Dave's Dimensions, Brett from the Jedi Cantina. Let's see, Gary's Grills is here. Dandy's also in the chat because he's busy collecting nuts.
Gary's Grails
from the chat. John's in there saying 1 minute, everybody. Yeah, we had those little technical difficulties. Sir Eric Brown's also in the chat. I'm the only one not in the chat this morning, but
because you were fixing the video.
I know we were doing.
You had a job to do.
Anyways, how's everybody doing? You guys ready to get started? All right. Let's not keep everybody waiting. The first thing we like to do is a little thing. Well, here's the opinions expressed by the host on the slideshow. This is our little disclaimer. We don't need it this week.
Rick's not here.
You know, we can't see half of it because Gap's comments covering up the. So
it's just messing around. Do a little thing we call bragging camp. Does anybody have anything that they'd like to show off this week that's maybe new or old in their collection that they just wanted to show off? It looks like Dan has something, so we'll just leave him full screen. What do you got?
I mean, I don't know if you can see it or not, but I did happen to get that giant man.
You got some new McFarlanes?
Oh, that too.
He's really. There's this really small figure behind him. It's really, really small.
He's waving to everybody. He's waving to the show. I got him. Anybody else that got him? I'm curious. Anybody in the chat or you guys, let me know if you feel like you got to do the hot water or heat with the hands, because I thought for sure I was going to break his fingers. I mean, you can see there's a lot of articulation there, but man, they did not want to move.
Really? Wow. I saw a lot of posed pictures where like one of the fingers didn't move.
Maybe that one right
there?
I
feel like every picture I saw that was posed, and that was the only one not moved.
That one gave me the hardest time, actually. It's funny you said that.
So what's the articulation like on that thing? Are you going to do a video or not?
No, but I can show you. Maybe you can see he's got each joint.
Okay, so I do that sometimes with my finger.
Every knuckle, right.
He's got a little.
Every knuckle and this wrist right here too.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, that's nice. And then the thumb goes at both joints, and of course the wrist goes up and down. So yeah, I mean that's a lot. Every knuckle has a joint, and then that wrist I think was really that's the nice touch, because you don't have to, because it's so big. You don't have to just rely on that.
Do his hips splay out enough so you can give him like a piggyback, put him on your shoulders?
Well, I don't know if they lie or not, but let me see.
You can just have him riding your shoulders like a little kid.
I guess you could, yeah. Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that one. There's a joint at the just below the waist there.
Supposedly the Sentinel's supposed to have that also. It's not in the model, but it's supposed to have like that one.
Oh, that messed him up. No, I can't.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, no, I can't say enough good things about it. I saw, who was it that asked about the, Gary asked about the
Side eye
eye?
issue. Side eye issue. Yeah.
I'm not sure what that is. I know I don't know if you guys caught that, but the face comes out, right?
Uh-huh.
You can take the face apart and you can change the eyes. So you can
And so you got ones that look in different directions.
Right.
Can you mix and match? Like,
Yeah.
put one right eye looking left and one eye looking right, or
No,
do
not
the
that.
cross eyes
that.
and put his
Nope.
finger like in the middle, like he's just got out of the movie The Jerk.
No, it's a set. It's just a little square piece with the eyes.
I saw
molded onto it.
I
But
saw
I don't know-
somebody took that little that zombie face and put it in there, but they didn't put the eyes, and then they put like a LED light inside the head.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Is that possible? Because it looked like it, and the eyes were lit up, or do you think they did that with special effects later?
I think it's possible, only because if you look right here.
Oh yeah, look at that.
So I mean, it would be really easy to put a small little, tiny little light, or just run a cable up. If you're just taking a picture, run it up through the back.
Yeah, it looked pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I was trying to think of how I could use that eye thing to, or that eye slot.
That's a much better head joint for connecting his head. That's a really nice head connector than having a ball joint that pops on and off. That's so pain in the butt.
I like that. Yeah, I think that's what they did. Wasn't it a square piece with Galactus too, if I remember right? I haven't popped his head off.
I think it might have been, but it's been a while since I took that off. Yeah.
I popped that thing off a lot. It's just like a flat little square on the Galactus.
I see the collector. He said the same thing. Didn't even mess with the fingers yet. I'm gonna put him in some hot water first.
All right, that's cool. Is that it?
So, yep. Oh yeah. That's enough.
So can you put that in your car and go through the carpool lane? That's all I need to know.
Would he qualify? I think he'd qualify.
Yeah.
Put him in a little child seat in the back.
I was gonna say, if I put him on a booster seat.
That's so funny. All right, John, what do you got? You got anything?
No. Sure.
No?
Nope.
Oh,
coming soon. I've got a Predaking coming. So next week, hopefully next week I'll show you Predaking.
Okay, cool.
But that's it.
All right, Eric.
Yeah, I got something. Came in the mail from Walmart today. I got
nice.
Shriek Hop Mandos.
Oh, I like it. Those are actually kind of cool. If I see them in store, I'll probably pick them up.
It was weird because I had this pre-ordered pretty much instantly, but it went in stock I don't know, a week or two ago or something like that. So if I would have bought them, they would have shipped out same day, but I had to wait until today. So
that's cool. All right. The only thing I'm going to show off this week is I'm going to show off I'm going to get rid of this, a 12-inch Superman action figure made by Mego.
Look at that.
Wow. Look at that hair.
Yep. Yeah. I think it's supposed to be modeled after Christopher Reeve, but I'm not fine.
It's a little too puffy.
No, it looks like almost an enlarged version of their regular size Mego superheroes. Because I feel like the Superman was very similar to the Tarzan head, and I feel like this is kind of like that, but it's in pretty decent condition. Just has a little bit of a split in the boot.
Where did you find them?
My favorite.
Goodwill. Yeah. My dad's mad at people like you.
Why?
Because now all the Goodwills in our area never put anything good out because they put it all online. He likes to go in the store and shop.
It's a store dependent thing because I still find stuff locally. They'll put it out there if it sits for more than a week, then they pull it and make organic.
Our stores don't put anything out anymore, and my dad, we've asked, and he said they told me they put it all online now.
Yeah. All right, let's say hi to some more people that join in the chat. We got Jumpy McClunky, Doc Collectors in here. Do we say hello to Gary already? We did, right?
Yeah. We also got
G-Force jumped in. Doomed.
Yep, Doomed.
Charles Edwards has joined us.
I think I did miss John. I missed greeting.
Nice. Okay, a couple of people I haven't seen in the chat before, so thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Welcome.
to get past the section and get to the history. So if you've been watching the show, we've been going through our episodes, and just so you know, like I just got a text message, and I don't want you guys to be jealous, but I've been getting these regular text messages every single day from Tim Waltz or Kamala Harris directly to me.
Oh, me too. I've
got my number, but I
even got a text message directly from Obama.
That is pretty cool. I got one from him the other day too.
He's got my phone number. I was like, geez.
Hopefully these text messages are going to end pretty soon.
I was doing everything I could to get myself off their damn lists yesterday.
Anyways, we're in episode 88. So when we hit the 80s episodes, what we're doing is we're kind of doing a brief history of the 80s. So we're currently in episode 88. And so this is a brief history of 1988 that you did not know you needed. And can anyone tell me why these three pictures are on the screen? And the smart aleck answer is because they all happened in 1988.
They did?
Yes.
Well, they probably revealed the stealth fighter, but that wasn't the first time we had one.
Yeah, in November they acknowledged its existence.
I was going to say, I thought that jet had existed before that.
I think once they acknowledged that existence, it opened the door for that movie Broken Arrow with
Christian Slater.
Yeah, and Christian Slater. Yeah. So on that was in November. In September, NASA resumed space flights. I don't have a picture, but the Space Shuttle Discovery launched back, and that was the first shuttle flight since 1986 when the Challenger exploded. In May of 1988, Microsoft released Windows 2.1. Can you imagine? Yeah.
I'm thinking, I'm looking at it going, wow, it was a 286. It was a 286 system back then. Like, that's just
right.
Crazy.
Do you remember what do you got, a 186 or a 286?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then everybody was like, how many
pods
crap
with your modem?
I remember the day, holy crap, get a 386. No way. That's gonna fly.
I got that new 1.4 megabyte floppy disk drive built in.
Yeah.
The 4-inch, right? Or 5-inch?
Right. And then the Morris worm came out that year. That was disrupted the internet.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. The price of a movie ticket was $4.
Wow.
Let's see. Hold on. Block their text. That will stop. Okay. Yep. Firefox. Goodwill in Southern California is excellent. Okay. So moving on, we got these are the action figures that launched in the year of 1988. So it was Galoob came out with their Star Trek Next Generation figures. That was in 1988, and then the Teenage Mutant Ninja line started in 1988.
Hell yeah!
How many of these figures do you have in your guys' collections?
All of them.
I had most of the Turtles, but none of the Star Trek.
I had all the Star Treks.
Yeah, I still have all the Star Treks. Tasha Yar was the hardest one to find.
Which
and
one?
my Michael Dorn figure is signed by Michael Dorn.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Tasha Yar was the hardest one to find in this series. She was short-packed.
So when Playmates started making the Next Generation, I have a Riker, and he has two left feet on him.
Nice.
Yeah, so I think that's pretty
Still
cool.
in the package.
Jonathan is saying, I see you're back to doing early streams. That's only this week because tonight, don't forget, if you're in the US, it's time to change your clocks. You fall back tonight. Over where Jonathan is, he already changed his clocks. That's why he thinks we're going early.
Yeah, because they're freaking weird over there.
I wouldn't say that. I just think they should tune their clocks to our time.
We should all get rid of daylight savings time.
Yeah, are any of you guys in the states that are doing it or locations? And there was like, what, 5 or 6 of them?
Yeah, I think Arizona doesn't switch. So if you're in Arizona, I think, or parts of Arizona anyways, I think that they just stay. They don't do anything.
Most of Indiana used to be on Indiana time. except for Northwest and Southwest Indiana. But now that part's just on Eastern full time. Yeah.
Right. All right. So
there's still
what?
we're actually split. We have 2 different time zones.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's like just the Northwest.
How much of a drive?
Like about 2.5 hours for me.
Do you ever feel like time traveling and drive over there?
Well, I tell you one thing, it messes me up when I'm because I do have to travel a lot to Wisconsin for work and sometimes Illinois, and so when I'm driving over there, it messes me up.
Yeah. All right. So Stephen Hawking's published A Brief Time of History, apparently in 1988. Let's see, make daylight savings time permanent. Yeah, I think if they got rid of it, I think I would be good. Gap is in Antarctica, so there's no time for him there. Jonathan's saying that they invented time.
I saw that.
Oh, so they get to make all the rules. And a collector is saying Hoosiers. Is he talking to you, Dan, or is he talking about the movie Hoosiers?
Well, I mean, I gotta lump myself in with these these crazies, yeah.
Because I'm thinking, did Hoosiers come out in 1988? I don't know, but
no, it's probably because.
Oh, is that what it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. So here's a few movies that came out in 1988, and they just came out with a sequel to Beetlejuice, which is surprisingly so. It was like an anniversary, I guess, when they did that. And then, of course, Die Hard. You guys see any of these movies?
Was that 88?
This was 88.
I saw every single one of them.
I have Akira on Laserdisc over there somewhere, but I'm not going to go pull it out right now.
I don't remember if I watched that one or not, but yeah, Young Guns, Beetlejuice, They Live.
Hoosiers was in 86. Okay.
I saw all of these in the theater. Yeah.
Supposedly, there's Emilio Estevez and Lou Diamond Phillips are really keen to doing another sequel to the Young Guns movies, but they keep getting shot down somehow, like in A Blaze of Glory. No.
Are they all alive? Let me see. Who was everybody in there?
Well,
Charlie's there. Emilio
Kiefer Sutherland,
Kiefer's
Charlie
alive.
Sheen,
Yeah.
Lou Diamond Phillips, Emilio Estevez. Then I know that one dude still.
Who are the other two?
Dermot. No, I wanted to say Dermot Mulroney, but it's that the other guy. Is it the other? I don't know. One of those, but
because the 4 of them went on to be like pretty darn famous, but I don't know if they're the other two in anything recently.
Yeah, the one guy's in a lot of stuff. One of the guys in a lot of stuff.
Big was in 88, huh? And
Yeah.
Rain Man?
Rain Man?
Wow.
There are a whole lot more movies, but for the sake of time, I just hit these. We got Hellraiser 2, Phantasm. So obviously Gap is a horror fan. I didn't put really any horror movies just because and Child's Play. Oh, see, apparently I missed classics according to Dan. He won't tell me. He'll just put it in the chat.
I'm embarrassed that I didn't catch it and Gap did. So.
All right. Anyways,
Child's Play came out this year. Wow.
Yeah.
Phantasm 2, The Ball.
Oh yeah, I think there's another sequel too that came out that I was like, oh, I'm not going to mention it because it's a sequel or something like that.
Yeah, Hellraiser 2 was there. He said, Angus Scrimm, the guy who played the tall man in Phantasm, was on my podcast once.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, Who Framed Roger Rabbit was actually like a really big deal that year, because of the I guess combining animated and live action.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Right? Yeah.
I thought that was I thought that was 89. Who Framed Roger Rabbit, but I could be wrong.
I think it was this year. I know that like when I was doing the research, it was trying to tell me that it gave me a list of the influential songs or the big songs from 1988. but the problem is one of them was Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley, and that one actually came out in 1987. So I was like, well, I don't want to mention it because it came out in 87, just like Welcome to the Jungle by Guns N' Roses.
Never gonna give, never gonna give, never gonna give you up.
Just
Yeah.
rickrolled the whole.
You know, that was the second choice. I was gonna be John Astley, but I didn't think anyone would know what that was.
I know Rick Astley.
So yeah.
He was just in the news too, Rick Astley.
Seriously, I was gonna
Was he?
name it John Astley today, but
He was just in the news. All right. All right, let's move on. We got the crowdfund update you didn't know you needed. This is going to tie in with kind of like our topic of the week. So we'll talk about the crowdfund, and then I'll kind of like give you the update on where we're at, and then we'll move into that next segment. So basically, I'm going to get rid of this really quick. Naked Gun, G-Force. Let's see, included. So they finally decided to include Tully, even though he was originally released as a 2-week crowdfund update. And at the time they announced it, it was at 8344 backers. And now it's currently sitting at around 8,668 backers as of this morning when I took that snapshot. So
8689 now.
Okay, 8689. So 300 more backers, basically 340 more backers or whatever. I think they pretty much knew they weren't getting to 12,000, right? So
by yesterday, yeah.
Yeah, personally, I think it was a good move and a bad move in a way, because I feel like when you had that 2-week window, should they have waited to see what happened today or yesterday before they just said, hey, we're going to throw it in? Or do you think if they didn't meet the goal and then said, hey, we're going to give you this guy anyways, it would have been too late?
They made a good move, and here's why. If they would have waited until after, like today or later, to pivot, they would have had a bunch of numbskulls canceling orders just because Tully didn't get included. So
yeah,
minimally they saved some overhead on their systems with canceled orders and whatnot.
So they basically, you're saying they basically just cut it off at the pass and said, hey, we're not going to meet those numbers. There's probably a bunch of people who backed it because they were going to get this extra figure. And he's important because he's in the original Ghostbusters uniform. Maybe they didn't get the deluxe. They just want the figure, and we'll just eliminate that whole possibility. Okay. So yeah. So you think
I'm happy.
You don't think waiting the extra day and just saying, like, letting it pass, because today's, like, they could have did the same thing, right? They did trick or treat type of thing with Tully, but today's Dia de los Muertos, right? So they could have just let him kind of go away, and then basically did the same thing today and basically said, hey, he's come back from the dead, and now he's just included.
I mean,
I'm kind of with Gab. I think it's too expensive, and I think that's probably why one of that, and the size of it is probably why it was slowing, not catching what they wanted.
Right.
And I mean, the desperation of the move is what drives me crazy. I mean, I'm still a little bitter about the Engines of Vengeance, since you mentioned
yes.
it.
Yeah. Okay.
It haunts me off, man. I would, because that's one where I feel like, the Ghostbusters fan will pay for this, and I love Ghost Rider. I would have paid for that, even though it was overpriced. I agree, but I would have taken it. And I think if they wouldn't have stretched such a huge goal out, I think we could have got it.
Okay,
well, same with the Rancor, if they wouldn't have jerked around with
exactly.
Yeah,
right.
So let me just do this really quick. So this is going to be the toy conversation you didn't know you needed, sort of built in the same thing. And I'm basically posing the question: is eliminating the early bird a good faith or panic mode? Because I kind of feel like a little bit of panic over there because they weren't getting to the 12,000 quickly. And then the question also is, how will this change HasLabs? Okay, so I'm going to reduce this. And I wanted to do this because Doc Collector saying, love how they are just breaking their rules now.
Yep.
Right.
And the rules last time.
Yes. Yeah. See, and Dan brought up the Engine of Vengeance. Eric's saying it's a good thing. And that Robbie Reyes, right? They got rid of him after he didn't meet the 2-week thing. And I'm just thinking, like, do you think that they should have taken a note from that ahead of time and just not built that 2-week thing in and just said, he's just included. Because
probably, but like whoever runs these campaigns at Hasbro were looking for some extra mechanism to help drive backers early on so that they could help gain momentum. You could certainly make a case for just saying, hey, this is the complete package, take it or leave it, right? No stretch goals, no gimmicks or anything. I would have been fine with that, but at the end of the day, they're achieving the same end result. In this case, it's all or nothing, no gimmicks. So
okay, so what does that open the door for in this campaign? So they just blew the water out of their 2-week their rule that they made for their campaign. So does this mean that if it gets to 11,500 backers, which would still be monetarily wise a big boon for them, do they then say, yeah, we're just going to move into production because
that I doubt.
Close enough?
Yeah.
I backed it. I want the product, so I'd like it if that happened. But if it was like 500 off, I don't see them doing it. They didn't do it for the Rancor. I can't remember how far the Engine of Vengeance was off, but
I'm talking. Yeah, the Rancor was like not even 500.
A couple hundred. Yeah.
Yeah. The Engine of Vengeance, I don't think got close, but that vehicle was just overpriced for what it was.
Yeah.
There was just not enough there.
It was.
Yeah.
I mean, but they
did add a lot of figures in there as tiers. Yeah. But the thing is, they weren't included. They were tiers that you were never going to obtain.
That's what I'm saying. Why didn't they just one or the other throw those in there, or lower the initial back?
Right. So do you think?
They've got new people running the brands now. That right.
Well, so in my video that I did, because I did a video, I kind of talked about it, and a bunch of people had comments. One person was speculating that they came out and said 12,000 backers, it'll fund. We're not going to take your money unless it funds at 12,000, blah, blah, blah. So if it gets 11,500 and they decide at that point to move it into production, and then they take your money, they potentially open themselves up for a lawsuit. But I'm thinking to myself, anybody who backed it is not going to be suing them that they're going to get it, right?
That's ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, this is a positive move. I'm still pissed about the Rancor, right? But they're learning from like they're making it. To me, this is a good faith move, right? For the backers, right?
Okay.
Where it would be nice if we could go back in time and change what they did before, but can't do that. So moving forward, I hope this sets a standard for how they're going to be dealing with various situations.
So you think this sets? So when you say this sets a standard, they set artificial goals, and then just get rid of them in midstream when they working out for them.
No. I appreciate you kind of poking the bear on that, but I don't think it was necessarily like that. I think it's just when it's the right thing to do for collectors, right? Especially like for Ghostbusters, there's a limited amount of stuff you can do for that, a Ghostbusters fan, right? There's not much more they're going to do after this. So I think they could do a lot more, but let's be honest, they're not going to keep pumping out Plasma Series figures.
I think
quite frankly, if it were me, I would not have put the 4 Ghostbusters in as the stretch goals. What I would have done is I would have made more Ghosts.
Well, and added them with the Ghostbusters too, like just added like a different version of Slimer where he's
no.
I
would have went further than the movies and started adding in maybe some like realistic looking versions of the ghosts we saw in the cartoons and things like that. I mean, imagine if you got a really cool looking version of Sam Hain that was more
but they're sticking
live action version like looking.
Well, we didn't get
the way I see it.
Yeah.
I really
because they did the librarian and they've got Slimer, right? As that come with the car no matter what, right?
Yeah.
Yes, Slimer and the Librarian come with a car.
But just
now
to be
totally automatically comes with a car. It was
Yeah.
supposedly like a 2-week option. Then you have that deluxe version, which changes the vehicle to Ghostbusters 2,
It
and
comes
then
with the
gives you the
figures.
characters and their outfits from the movie.
Yeah.
with
But what
the
I'm getting at is,
with the slime blower.
as somebody who's already collected some of the Ghostbusters, like, I don't care at all about getting them in darker colored suits. Like
So
that
that's
to
the
me,
base for you.
that to me is not an incentive to
I
buy
need
this
those darker-
car.
But I need
So
those darker
what if
suits
it came
because I
with-
got to update my Airwolf action figure into a solid.
There you go.
But that's
But if
but
it
John,
came
but
with
John,
four,
that's why
if it came with 4 new ghosts, I'd be like, holy crap, I'm never going to be able to get ghost figures. Like, they would never do that in the standard line. Do you know what I mean?
But
yeah,
the
but
thing
that's
is-
why
that
they,
is
but
an
that's why they
incentive.
made 2 different packages. One just the base, so you could get the Acto one, right, for the Plasma series figures you already have, right, if you have them, or if let's say you missed out and you just didn't get any of the original Plasma series figures, you could get the deluxe with all of the 4 Ghostbusters. Yeah, they're in the Ghostbusters 2 like charcoal flight suits, but
Yeah. But I
So
think
the-
that if
so-
you're, but here's the thing though. I mean, like, even myself, I'm not enough of a Ghostbusters fan to like have wanted to buy every single figure that's already come out. But I did buy the 4 Ghostbusters, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
because I think they're cool to have, and as the car sits right now, someone who's on the tertiary edge, I am not interested in buying this car at all because it
Okay.
doesn't have any additional things that make me want it, other than the library ghost. But
Okay.
if there were 4 other ghosts that came with the deluxe, I might consider buying it because I know I would never get those ghosts.
The
I mean,
problem,
you could-
John,
6-inch
is hold on.
line.
The
Yeah, go ahead.
problem with the ghost thing is because you're saying like from the cartoon, they're not doing the animated, the real Ghostbusters. They're doing the movie line of Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
So they're not going to
Well,
steal
then make
ghosts.
movie ones.
Yeah. So but then they got to be iconic enough for people to say, yeah, I want that tier because I want those ghosts that nobody remembers ever seeing. So maybe you get
Ghostbuster fans do.
the cab driver ghost or something. But I mean, like, unless they doubled up
Ghostbuster
and said
fans know all the
that
ghosts.
the deluxe comes with the Ghostbusters 2 roof rack or whatever, and then the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man or something like that in like a
You could do
12-inch
both.
size. But
You
the thing is, it's like Duck Collector, I think, said something about the stickers, right? Like, so they're not swappable, but it would have been pretty easy for them just to manufacture 2 more doors and then a hatchback that were removable and replaceable.
That would have been preferred. Personally.
And then they could have like said, well, and then maybe not the figures, right? Maybe made them like a stretch goal or something like that on top of it, like they did with the cantina, because they had stretch goals on top of the 2 different purchase levels, right? That way, like if you're not interested in the Ghostbusters 2, one, you don't care about the stretch goals and you don't care about like the roof rack and the doors, but that could have just been like a $75 add-on or whatever.
Yeah.
I just think that it's a slippery slope at this point for HasLab to say we created a HasLab, we set up the campaign, and now we change it. They tried to do that with that Rancor at the last minute by throwing in a Rancor Keeper, but it was too late, right? Like if they had done that like 2 days before,
or even, well, I think right at the beginning, it should have been a no-brainer.
Yeah. Well, but I think you need to.
You're probably right.
Like looking at Marvel and Star Wars HasLabs, you're going to get more of them, but for Ghostbusters for Plasma series, this is pretty much it, right?
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to get that much more. So, like pivoting a little bit and bending the rules is just a good thing for this.
So Eric,
base.
would you have rather had this? And this could be for everybody, not just for Eric. Would this have been better as like a timed sale, like they're doing with the Sentinel?
A make to order.
Yeah,
let's get ready to.
Because I think that goes right.
That.
Yeah, it goes right along with it was Dwight, right? Like saying Was that Dwight saying?
Yeah. So Dwight asked, and if they did like they're doing with those, like the Dragon Man and the Sentinel, if they would
Right.
wait until it's shipped, make it a reasonable price, right? So get all the extras out of there and just get the baseline of what you need. John, you said you know the car is great, but if you wanted to cherry pick those figures of what you want, you know, even Dave mentioned, you know, everybody's got their own opinion. I think it would have been a lot better if they would have just released those bonuses as single pieces, right? And then just drop the car to 200, maybe 225, whatever they needed. And then, you know, whether or not it was charged at the time or not, but
Yeah.
that's what they did with the Giant Man. That's why I like this one so much. You know,
Don't get me wrong. I would not be against any of these products not being HasLabs.
HasLabs. Yeah,
I'd rather have like the HasLab quality for like a make to order, like pre-order price, but like it's at this point it's just a gimmick. Like it's a sales gimmick.
Sure, but the thing is, the big difference between the HasLab and that made to order is when they take your money, right? Like we know we're like in a recession. I mean, I think everybody feels it. Thanksgiving's coming up. People are going to spend money on Thanksgiving meal dinners and stuff with their family, and it's not going to be cheap this year. You know what I mean? And then you move right into like the holiday shopping season, but you just unloaded, you know, $325 or $400 to get this thing. That's a big chunk of your probably holiday spending. You know what I mean? So for people who are going to back it, it's tough. And if they made some sort of concession, you know, I think, yeah, like, because even Rick said it earlier, stop doing these at this time of year. You know what I mean?
Horrible timing.
Horrible timing, I think.
Yeah.
They would
have if you're charging with the HasLab versus the other one.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of things. Jonathan said earlier, he said something like, you guys really think people would like not back it if Tully wasn't there?
Yeah, there are 100% people who would drop out just because one figure wasn't included.
We have historic data. How many times did that happen with other ones where they didn't make something and you just saw them numbers just go down?
Yeah, and Dino was actually backing out until
he said he was going to back out without that figure because it's important. Because like that Cantina, if they said, "Oh, you're not getting the Takana sisters," he probably wouldn't have got it, right? Like,
yeah, he bought 2 of them just for the Tanaka sisters.
Right, just for that, just so we can have those figures. And if they like said, "Hey, by the way, we're just going to have these later, as part of the vintage collection," he might not have got it either, because he said, "Oh, well, I can just still get the figures later or whatever."
Yeah.
I think that, personally, I think it's a bad precedent one, right? To like change it. I'm glad they did it. It's great. I'm glad it's included. I just think it sets them up for the future for people to really browbeat them if they don't fund it, if it misses by like a couple of hundred.
Yeah. I don't.
Where do you draw the line now?
Yeah. There's no line anymore. There's no campaign. There's no, hey, this is our limits, because they've just told everybody we made all the rules are arbitrary now. None of those rules there mean anything.
But like worst case scenario, they enforce whatever they say from the start, right?
Right.
That's the worst case scenario. Best case scenario, they use this and they do things in favor of us. So like it can only be a good thing.
Dave was alluding to because Mondo has those real Ghostbusters action figures, and he was saying something about how they kind of came back and said anybody that orders these is getting free shipping. Yeah. And I don't think that's quite the same as a HasLab, because we've seen a bunch of HasLabs go through a bunch of different iterations, and like they've been so strict on every single measure for all these other HasLabs, right? Don't hit the tier, you don't get it. 2 weeks, you don't get it. With that Mondo, with their other cells, like with the He-Mans and stuff like that, which are similarly priced, when you get to a certain level, they don't charge shipping for those. It's included. But for some reason, these Real Ghostbusters one in the beginning, they were charging shipping. And I think that they just evaluated that and said, you know what? No, I think we've reached this point before and we can absorb the cost of that shipping because we're making enough. So I think that's why I think it's a little bit different. Plus, I think maybe it was something they didn't realize and it just got pointed out to them. Right.
I think shipping is always a sore spot with me because I personally think that anything that's expensive as a HasLab or a Hot Toy, there's a number of these things like the big deluxe Mondo stuff that costs you like $200 or more. Like the things that expensive should always have free shipping, I think. And part of my reasoning is that because if they sell 10,000 of these things, like for right now, what do we need? We need 12,000 for this new HasLab. That's a guaranteed 12,000 items that they're going to ship from their site, and they don't go to the post office and pay like. Yeah, I got one box that I'm sending, and the post office is like
on one hand,
shipping.
I got to trim my Christmas list, Rolando.
Yeah.
on one hand,
they don't go they don't go to the post office and say I'm sending one box, and the post office goes that'll be $50. They go to the post office and they say, or whoever they're doing, FedEx, UPS, whoever they are, they go, okay, we've got 12,000 orders for this that we're going to ship out between these two dates. What can you give us for some kind of deal? And they go, a guaranteed 12,000 uniformly sized packages. We'll do all that for $12 a box. And then Hasbro charges us $47 for shipping.
So hold on. Hold on. While I don't disagree with you in the spirit of like wanting free shipping for like high value products like that, on one hand, like I'm a Pulse Premium member, right? Like I pay so I don't have to pay shipping throughout the year, and I get whatever access to whatever other benefits they have, right? So for premium members, like I do get the free shipping. If they made shipping included for everything else, for everyone else, like for HasLabs or otherwise, it's not going to be free. They're going to bake that into the price of the product, and it's going to drive up the price for everyone else, including me as a premium member. So, well, Eric, respectfully, like I like the idea, but I think that would just have negative consequences for the people paying for premium.
So the thing is, Eric, I do get free shipping from Hasbro if I order over a certain amount, which is $75 or whatever, right? And that includes if I order like 2 figures and one of them's a pre-order and they just happen to get over 75, it's crazy because they'll just ship the one that's in stock and then the pre-order one will ship separately. So it's not like they're saving money by putting them in the same box. And if you were to like find that pre-order one in a store and cancel it, it's not like they go back and charge you shipping.
Oh, they don't have that baked into their logic. They should, but yeah,
right.
And they don't raise the price of those figures to cover the free shipping. You know what I mean?
But what I'm getting at ultimately is if they give you free shipping on those, it would probably just drive up the price of the product for everyone else.
But then why don't they raise the price of the stuff that if you buy 3 figures, you get free shipping?
That's a different scenario.
I think that Pulse is already making money by cutting out like a middleman when they're reselling. They don't have to deal with whatever retailer costs and stuff. So I think that when they get to a certain level, they can just give you the free shipping. But I think that their model's kind of weird that it's like it can all ship separately, right? But
yeah,
I don't know how that factors in. But
hey, you guys remember this? Jonathan said they added an extra month for that Unicron.
I think I remember. I don't remember that. I think there was something about the Unicron. I think they did maybe extend it, but I do remember they extended another one because the app and the website had a different date. When they updated the app, they put the wrong date on the app.
I remember that. I think I remember that.
That I remember. And then they said, well, we're just going to go with the one on the app
Didn't they have that with the Dragonfly too? They had some issue with the date there.
I don't know if it was that one or not, but I just think, yeah, it's just a weird thing to me that they went ahead and put. I thought it was fine. Like, I don't have any problem with them doing it. My only problem now is what are going to be the repercussions, right? Like, I think
We'll see.
Yeah, I think it's going to cause them more trouble in the long run because, like, for me now, all I think about is, well, all those people who bailed on the Engine of Vengeance because of the Robbie Reyes figure and because the Rancor was so close, you know, and stuff like that. And yeah, people are going to tell me, well, you're just crying or whatever. But and hopefully a slimmed down version of that Rancor will show up like a timed release or something like that.
Yeah. So hopefully, but if your concern is it's going to cause Hasbro problems in the future, so what? That's their problem, right?
Right.
It's our problem because we're gonna have to be.
Well, why? But the worst case scenario is we adhere to the rules that they set when they.
Who's drumming?
When they launched the product, not me.
I know, that's what I mean. I kept hearing this weird noise.
Yeah,
I hear like a drumming noise.
So, worst case scenario, we have the status quo. Yeah, I hear it again.
That was me.
Okay, but best case scenario, they do things that work out in our favor, right? So that's their problem.
I think in this case, I think it works out pretty well. Like, you're getting the Talier. Hopefully, that means like it'll get back. It's been steadily chugging along, so I think it's probably going to barely hit their 12,000 backers. I don't think it's going to like skyrocket or anything.
Yeah,
I think
probably not.
I think that the biggest things holding the HasLab back in general were the fact that the timing, I think, is horrible because of the holidays and stuff like that. And the fact that they're going to take your money right after it closes. The second thing that I think doesn't work out in their favor is the toy line just wasn't doing very well to begin with. Seems like Ghostbusters fans, they really liked the cosplay items. And with the action figures and stuff like that, I just don't, there's some crossover.
It doesn't sell as well. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that Proton Black pack just like 3 days. It was funded.
This is really cool though. I do like the car. I do like even both I love that little light up sign on the side, even though it's like a film you got to swap out and stuff like that because you can make your own messages and stuff like that. I think it's really cool. I really like the way it looks. I just wish the sticker thing wasn't like an issue, right? I guess they would have to do the hood too, but at least they're giving you extra stickers and they are kind of removable or whatever. So that's a plus, but I almost feel like a sticker can go on the door. I don't know.
I can't see a lot of fans actually changing. I mean, like if I had bought this car, I'd choose one or the other and I'd leave it that way for the rest of its life. I'd never switch it.
Right.
That's why I did one for each.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Are you getting so you're doing two, but only one's a deluxe?
Correct.
You're gonna have two librarians and two Slimers. Are you good with that?
Yeah.
Because I won't have any, just so you know.
You can always sell them. Yeah.
If you need a place to store them, I can put them up there with my Ghostbusters figures.
Yeah.
You need that extra lighting kit that you're not going to be using for the because you know what I thought about? I was thinking about that like popcorn bucket thing that they had, and if that roof piece would fit on that, like if you can trim it, put it on the popcorn bucket to get the siren sounds and stuff like that. If that's where they're coming from, I just don't know where the sound is coming from in the vehicle. All right, I think did we beat that one to death? Anyways,
yeah, I'm not optimistic that it will the campaign will like go beyond the 12,000. I think it'll just hit like it'll probably be like 12 to 15,000 tops, and that's
okay. Dina's
It'll
saying that
pass. Yeah.
my sign would say, "Have a fantastic day." Probably. Hey, if you
So
guys
we know Eric got 2. We know Dino's buying 1. Like, who else got one? Did you didn't, Vern?
I
Danny?
don't know if it's in the
I'm sure.
budget.
I'm sure Dave backed it.
Yeah. Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
Did you back it, Dave, in the chat? Who else backed it in the chat? I did not back this. I'm not in for this one.
Well, that's because they didn't give you all your ghosts that
Yeah,
nobody
the ghosts.
remembers.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, would
at
would
least
you be
gotten
good with
Vigo.
them making like putting like a action figure that looks like a ghost, like a sheet over his body, like a ghost?
Yeah, exactly.
style,
Right. Yeah.
running around. Then you can put them with your Scooby Doos and stuff like that.
Yeah. There you go.
Name 2 ghost figures you would want from the Ghostbusters.
They could have done Vigo, the
Okay.
bad guy in the second one from the painting, and
Okay.
I like the cab driver ghost idea. That's cool.
But
There was
then you
that
have to
one
make
that
Cab.
Melnitz, Janine Melnitz.
there was
they
the-
should have done her.
yeah, Janine's good, but she's not a ghost. But the one that flew out of the subway at the end,
Okay.
like when they were all flying around, I would have liked that one.
Well, let me ask
There
you a
were
question, John.
the two brothers that were electrocuted.
Yeah, that's a cool idea.
Would you have liked any other characters that were not made into action figures? Like,
Yeah, Janine would be a
Yeah.
good one. Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
that would have been a good one for you. All right.
yeah.
That's
More
more
holograms.
hologram figures as well. They can make
There
a
you
whole Ghostbusters hologram, and then make sure that you get
Yeah.
the little hockey puck light.
Dave says they were the Scolari brothers. Yeah, there you go.
Yes, yeah.
Yep, exactly.
All right, so
That'd be
there
cool.
is a model for that. They could have done that.
Look, it's hologram Dan.
Yeah. All right. Hey, if you guys are in the chat and you're watching the live stream, I would appreciate it if you hit the thumbs up button on the live stream. It'll help push the video out a little bit. And then, are you guys ready to move on?
Yeah.
All right. All right. So hopefully we answered everybody's questions about the future of the HasLab from Hasbro.
And to me, I got to say, even though that's not the animated version, that sure does look like an animated Tully to me.
Yeah.
Look at that face.
I got to
from-
tell you, like
That's directly from the cartoon.
there were a lot of good. There were a
But
lot.
he did that thing with his lips in the like he like overacted the.
Yeah.
It's possible they couldn't get his rights. Isn't it?
Yeah.
'Cause He didn't
Is that
come back
what
in
it
those-
was? He doesn't give up his rights.
Well, he didn't come back in those sequels.
Oh,
Well, he hasn't acted since God knows how long ago. To
Well,
spend
because he
time
got
with his
punched in the
family.
face. Remember that?
Oh, is that what happened? Who punched him? Was it?
It was like there's a video of him like, I don't want to say 2 years ago, 3 years ago. He's just walking down the street and all of a sudden this guy like he leaps
just
over to
knocked
the
the
other
clock
side of
him?
the sidewalk just to punch him right in the face.
Oh, I don't
And then
remember hearing
pulls the
that.
cucumber. Just look it up, man. It's they caught it with a traffic cam or something, but they're walking like this. This guy just looks over, leaps over, pops him, and then just cools the cucumber, walks away. Like nothing happened.
Well, that happened. Like he hasn't acted in like a really long time, not just in the past couple years.
Yeah, it was after he stopped.
Yeah.
Just being silly.
All right. So Dino's over there asking for people to go watch this video so he can afford them. In that same vein, if you guys want me to order the HasLab, go ahead and hit a super chat.
Yep.
I have all the first wave of Ghostbusters, but I had to pass because of real estate.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and real estate.
That is
Like I said, I just got
almost everybody's
Predaking.
problem, right?
I just ordered Predaking, so like he's one of the last Transformers I need for that modern wave.
You got to prioritize.
Yeah.
Oh, look, Jonathan saying he quit acting to take care of his kids.
Oh, I didn't know his wife died. Okay.
I didn't know.
don't
Yeah, I
remember
didn't
that.
either. That's too bad.
See, in the cartoon, Tully had a round wire
Oh,
rim glasses
okay.
and slightly pudgy. So no, this figure looks different.
Okay, I got you.
That's a nice way to say, John, you're wrong.
Well, yeah.
All right. Anyways, that project closes in 30 days, so we need 30 days. One person a day. No, that's more than one person a
It says Zool. I don't think there was an E on the end of Zool, but sure. Yeah.
Didn't they already come out? Oh yeah, okay. Adore. Probably make that with some.
You are wrong. And that's it, mister.
All right. Anyways. All right. So then we did the toy conversation, and then this is the TV and movie news you didn't know you needed. So we thought we'd throw this back in there just because there were a couple of things that came up this week. And one of them is that Robert Zemeckis wants to make another Back to the Future movie, but it's not what you guys think. He wants to make Back to the Future, the musical.
Wow.
Apparently there's a musical floating around that you can go see. Back to the Future.
Stage musical version.
Yeah, I think I've heard of
that
that.
movie. And then the other thing I thought was,
Sorry.
all right, and then the other thing that I thought was interesting was that they're going to do a reboot of Cliffhanger, and it's not going to have Sylvester Stallone.
Why?
Why not?
He's 82, maybe.
What?
Well, I know. I'm
What
just
do you
saying that, like, is there like that many people out there going, my gosh, hot damn, Cliffhanger was such a great movie. We need to reboot this whole thing and turn it into a franchise.
Listen,
Like,
so
I don't
okay,
think so.
so I read the
Yeah.
synopsis of the film, right? So we all know that Cliffhanger was about the Rocky Mountaineers, whatever. There was a rescue team. This guy was kind of like had quit because of a tragedy, and then these guys tried to rob like a money plane, and then they were hiking around in the mountains, and then they had to kind of save themselves or whatever, right? That's how they get involved. This
And
other
then a
one,
giant monster comes and tries to eat
Yeah.
half the mountain, and the guy's like, I will save everybody from it.
so the new version is like a dad and a daughter run like a climbing expedition thing, and then they get hunted by killers or whatever while they're on the mountains or something like that. Some rich people, and they get involved in some attempt to kill one of the rich people or something. So in a way, it's not even a reboot of Cliffhanger. I think what they're going to do is they're going to make a movie that has like a cat and mouse game on a mountain that's all about climbing, and they're just going to name it Cliffhanger just to ride on the coattails of Cliffhanger, right?
Like, those are some great coattails to ride off of.
I'm telling you, and I'm like,
Nobody wants to see that. Does anybody watch Cliffhanger these days? No, nobody does. It's not a movie people are seeking out.
but you got to remember there was a time where like climbing movies, there were a lot of climbing movies.
Okay.
But you know what? Like that is a weird property to do a reboot of. Just like you could have like a rock climbing or what? I never
and
saw
not call it-
Cliffhanger, but like just like have a rock climbing movie and call it something like Over the Edge. I don't know.
That's what they did with every other rock
Hollywood
climbing
exec.
movie.
There you go.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I threw it in there, because I just think it's hilarious that they decided to like call it a Cliffhanger reboot.
Studio executives are dumb as shit.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to figure out how much action it's going to have with Pierce Brosnan in it. So is he like Lily James's dad, or
I think he's going to be like, yeah, the climbing dad guy, but he probably won't be doing any of the climbing. He'll probably be maybe the helicopter pilot.
Oh, okay, yeah, a little passive role.
Yeah,
And I'm with Dwight, man. I would still love to see a Running Man figure. I would love to see those unitards or whatever it was that they were
Yeah.
wearing.
Uh-huh.
With
Yeah.
Schwarzenegger, and that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Or a Jesse Ventura.
So what they should do, right? They should make a reboot of the Running Man.
They should have Running Man Part 2.
Oh, aren't they? I think they are.
And what they should do is they should make it like a movie where these people have to go play a video game.
Like,
No, I'm just trying to throw out
like
something
like
that's
a gamer.
like
Yeah,
similar, but not
2025.
really.
You got Glenn Powell in it, and Josh Brolin,
In
Ethan
which
Bates,
one?
Katie O'Brien.
Yeah.
Got some big names.
All right. I don't know. Ninja Warrior has a lot of rock climbers that may want a Cliffhanger reboot. Yeah, but the thing is, it's not necessarily. I don't feel like after reading this synopsis, it was you know what I mean? It's not like a.
Yeah, just making. Yeah, you don't need to tag on to that.
If they were like,
Right.
if they were rescue climbers or something like that, it's upon a cliff.
Like, let's go back to what we were just talking about. If it was like let's say you wanted to make a movie about like hunting ghosts, right, and make it like some like horror comedy kind of thing, and you were thinking about making a movie like that, and you didn't tie it on to Ghostbusters, that would be weird. But because that is a concept that's very well established, and like when people think about like ghost hunting or whatever, people think of Ghostbusters. They're just using that as an example.
So then the movie should be called The Real Ghostbusters.
Well, yeah. Well, but you know what I'm getting at, right? Like when you think of rock climbing, okay, people might think of Stallone and Cliffhanger, but it's not like a concept that is like so locked into that property.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
I thought of that guy who slipped and got his. If you mention rock climbing movies, I first think about that guy who slipped and fell and got his arm stuck behind a rock.
Oh, 127 hours or something. Yeah.
Chew off and then run away from her.
Yeah. All right. So we just move on from that because
we're
never going to solve the reboot.
Although, hold on. I do want to just on like TV and movie news. So I'm not sure what everyone else has been doing, but the Agatha All Along finale was this past week.
What? And
I really liked the series. It's not something I would have like called for and asked for, but like shows like that, like it's almost like if you're not expecting something awesome, it's so much easier to exceed expectations, right? I was very pleased with how well that was made, and I'd love to see the person who produced that to make more Marvel TV. I thought it was an excellent show.
Okay. I'm about halfway through. I've been kind of like putting them off so I could like watch a couple of them together. So I
won't spoil anything, but I thought it was excellent for what it was. Yeah.
I'm gonna finish it tonight.
D. Griffith saying the only good thing in Cliffhanger is John Lithgow as a villain. He's usually a good guy, and that showcases acting. I got to tell you, he's
except in Dexter.
Yeah, he's in that show right now called The Old Man, and it's Jeff Bridges and him, and basically they're just older guys that like CIA operatives and stuff like that, and Jeff Bridges has been living this like secret life this whole time and stuff like that, and the second season has been just as good as the first season.
The Gundam animated thing on Netflix is fantastic if you're a Gundam fan. The second season of The Diplomat dropped, and that was incredible. Really good.
Silo should be coming out in a week or two. That's season 2. So if you got the Apple TV Plus, I would really like the first season of that.
Yeah, that was good.
All right. So The Diplomat hit.
Yeah, the second season, but it's only 6 episodes, so I burned through it pretty fast and then went, that's it?
All right. So these are the toys revealed that you did not know you needed. So first of all, did you guys know that you needed this droid?
Yes.
I did, and I ordered
needed it
him.
in the Black Series.
Yeah, I ordered him.
And seeing this reveal this week made me go and do some research about those droid depot figures that we were talking about a week ago. So apparently Hasbro made the droid factory figures in the beginning. And then when that kind of droid factory thing stopped, Disney themselves bought all the molds and the rights to do the droid.
So that's why they still fit together.
Yeah. So basically what they did was they basically just started reproducing them themselves for the Disney park. So they are made by Disney.
Yeah.
But supposedly,
see, that was going to be one of my arguments. Is if you take the legs off the current Disney ones, they pop onto the legs of the Hasbro ones.
Yeah, supposedly
so that would imply that they're the same mold.
Yeah,
so for all we know, it's the same factory too.
Yeah, quite possibly, right? But that's what happened with those. I was doing some research on it, and that's what I figured out. Creature Commandos. I have not seen that yet.
No, I don't know.
All right, I have to check it out.
I'll check it out.
These are glow in the dark figures.
Ooh.
What do you guys think of that?
Oh, it's
Nostalgic.
They look neat.
But-
Yeah,
Are you guys into the glow in the dark figures at all?
I
used
like
to be.
glow in the dark stuff, but yeah, I don't buy these, but I like glow in the dark stuff.
All right. Eric, you gonna get these?
Nah.
Yeah. So
No.
you guys say you like them, but nobody's
What-
getting them.
What are these? Are these Playmates or are these?
John,
What is?
I don't know. Are they Playmates?
I have no idea. I just saw the picture. I was like, oh, those are cool.
Yeah.
All right, and then they got a new Batmobile. This is the Batman and Robin one, right?
I wonder if there's anyone out there that owns all of the McFarlane Batmobiles now.
John.
It's gonna be a
Oh
shelf
no,
destroyer.
I do have like 12 or 13 different Batmobiles through the ages, but this is one of them that I'm not so keen on.
Is that because is this the version that George Clooney drove?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why, right? You don't like the Clooney version.
I wouldn't say I don't like them. I mean, I watch them every now and then, but it's not on my list of. I could do without it for the, that money can go to something else, like Chopper.
Another chopper.
All
right.
Yeah.
Oh, I took a picture of the interior because I thought the interior looked really cool in there.
That is really good. Yeah.
And then here is a Batman that was released. He's got this like molded cape and stuff like that goes with him, and a wired cape. That's McFarlane. I think it looks pretty cool.
Right.
I don't know if I would ever put that molded cape on though.
It's not the same figure, right?
It's the same figure. It just comes with the two different capes.
I feel like if they did the molded cape, they gotta do like a more matte finish because it shines too much. Right? Like you look at the light and it's reflecting off, and it looks too glossy.
I think that this cape, honestly, is just designed to like be a shadow. To like if you had a shadow, taking a picture in a shadow or something,
It looks like a Spawn cape.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the tatters and yeah.
Mm.
I don't know. It's cool though that they're actually doing the wired capes also. So I thought that was kind of neat. And then was this the same as those other?
Clown.
So this is a Barlin clown from Spawn that glows in the dark.
Glows in the dark. Let's see.
The giant like machine gun exoskeleton thing. Wasn't there a Joe that came out that is kind of like this
Yeah, the
recently?
heavy duty
Yeah.
had all this stuff on him.
It's the same one. It's with the glow in the dark on the white. Because I don't have it on here, but he did. This one came with guns too, and the extra hands.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think they look cool. I mean, I like the glow in the dark. I got that NECA glow in the dark thing, and it looks pretty cool. I couldn't believe how like vibrant it was because I wasn't expecting it. What about
Red Swamp thing?
Yeah, I mean,
Nah.
John, Dan, Eric, this guy's gonna be in your collection pretty soon.
I didn't even know there was a Red Swamp thing.
I didn't either. I like the figure.
Here's the thing: is like I think about like the GI Joe classifying, and I say like, man, I can't even keep up with how many figures that they crank out. If I was collecting McFarlane, that would be rough. It would be rough,
right?
Oh, it is. Yeah.
All right. This is
Wow, it looks cool.
right.
Yeah.
I was surprised, man. This is actually really neat.
Yeah, they look great.
Endless too, yeah. Those.
Who is that? Is that? That's not NECA.
I think it's Asian company. I don't know who would actually.
Well, it is an Asian company. They got Asian characters up on the top right.
Yeah.
You can't read those, John?
No, I have no idea what it says.
No, me either. Anyways, I think it looks really cool. I'm not going to be getting any more Ninja Turtles though. This is Valaverse. They are at Rhode Island Comic Con. This is their Pandora figure. They got in the Michael Jackson outfit. They have a bloody version, regular version.
Okay.
There's one white glove.
Yeah. No, there's no white glove. It's just.
Oh, that's a bummer.
All right, let's see. And then this is the
Beetlejuice.
Dante's Inferno room. They've extended the pre-sale for it or whatever. It's $179. It's over on the NECA store or whatever. It looks cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't get it, but I mean, you could use that for a lot of things. Yeah, it's for Beetlejuice, but you could probably.
I mean,
use
like
that.
for a fun house or something like that,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
you do something like that. That's pretty cool. Oh,
You heard.
all right, Dino.
$5.
Thanks a lot. We really appreciate the super chat. $5 towards the Ghostbusters HasLab. I'm almost there. Just got to get to. I got 30 days.
I was
30
gonna
days.
say you got 30 days, man.
What?
You got 30 days, man. You
30
Back
days.
it on the stream. Open up post.
All right, and then these are the new glow-in-the-dark Bane Coopers that we were kind of mentioning last week. What they did was they're going to take the first wave, they're going to re-release them as glow-in-the-dark figures, and then they're going to change up the characters from the first wave. So if it was a boy or a girl or whatever wearing the costume, they're going to swap that around so you don't have the same kind of person wearing the same costume that you had from the previous wave to help retain the value of that first wave. So that was the concept behind that. So that is kind of cool. And then this is, I think, my last picture that I have. This is Ramen Toy has a picture of the Musk, which has I don't know, is that the Knight Rider vehicle?
Looks like it.
Yep. So obviously he wasn't teasing that. He was just showing this to scale, but it looks like Knight Industries 2000 maybe getting ready to come out. And the diorama looks actually kind of cool. I don't know, like what do you think, Dan? Do you think like it's worth getting, or you think it's worth like just building your own?
Man, I like it. And if it was, and I think it is, but I don't know how compact it gets. You know what I mean? It's got to be able to fold down and collapse to a point where I can put it in the storage bin. That's no more than
I think all the walls come down and then assemble, right? So it'll be like the two floors are separate. So they're probably the floor, the walls, and the ceiling are probably all similar in size. And then all I'm thinking about is are you going to be able to add up? You know, because you got that fire escape, but I'll need more building there.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I forgot how tall it was, but I think is it the same? Is it about the same height as that NECA one?
I think so.
Okay, yeah, because that was actually cheaper, if I remember right, like a lot cheaper
Than his?
Yeah, because wasn't his like 300?
I think his was designed to be sold in two halves, like one half and then
Yeah.
one half or something like that. Yeah. There was like some sort of like you can just get the sewer and it was cheaper, but if you got the sewer with the street level, then it was probably the same. And then there were two versions. I have to look back at the pricing, but I think it looks pretty cool, lit up and stuff like that. The only problem is I did that fire escape wall, you know, like the side of the building with the fire escape. The thing is, it's only the size of two of those panels, right? The purple panels that you get at Home Depot.
Right. Yeah.
So it's kind of like you can't step back and take like a really good picture and make it look like a building because you get to the edges. So everything has to be in like
a single shot.
Yeah, like
yeah,
up and down, like vertical instead of horizontal. And you can't do like a side kind of view type of thing or a looking up view because then you start seeing where the building isn't there and, you know, towards the top and stuff like that. So,
yeah. So that NECA one's 115.
wow.
It's 18 by It's just over 24 inches wide.
I had all the pricing thing on this one, but I just don't know what I did with it.
I don't know. I mean, it's quiz. I mean, if you look at that NECA one, it's very, very simple. It's plain. You know, there's
Right.
not a lot of detail etched in. And I'm sure knowing Ramen, I mean, he's going to have some serious detail in that bricks and the lighting and everything.
Yep, that was it.
And once again, Burn skipped all the new Transformers.
Where are the Transformers at, John?
Hasbro Pulse.
Did you upload the pictures of all the Transformers into the shared folder?
Yeah, sure.
You
of course I did.
Oh,
No.
well, how am I supposed to have the pictures of all the new Transformers?
Dwight's very disappointed in you. He's a Transformer.
Yeah.
I know. Where are all the new Transformers?
We can start doing that. They're on Hasbro Pulse, but we can start doing that.
What's coming out, Dwight?
If we have Transformer fans in the chat, I will start loading the pictures in so Vern has them.
Well, there's always Transformers fans in the chat.
No, there isn't. Only one person bought a Transformer on my Sunday sale.
All right. Is this one you're talking about?
Here's one of them.
These Transformers are so small that other Transformers can play with them?
Yes.
Wow.
You get the whole Arc playset with this. See, the Arc and everything comes with it.
Oh, that is. Do
It's
you
like
really?
a Super
Yeah,
Sub-
yeah.
That's not a Transformer, though, is it?
It's a playset for Transformers, for Super Sub and Transformers.
Okay, where else?
Shut up.
Okay,
In the Transformers section. They were in the new section. I don't know. The Studio series had a lot of good ones.
Okay, so new. Don't look up here. That's just my name. And then, well, there's no Transformers. Okay, what else?
Oh,
This
he's taking
Gorilla guy?
a long time. No, I was looking at the two pieces that are coming out of a new Devastator. Look at that. They're cartoon versions. They're like large size versions of the old toys.
These are?
Yeah, they're larger versions of the Gen 1 toys.
But these are sold out. So how are you supposed to get them?
That's how popular they are.
You don't.
No, they're on Amazon still, and they're on Big Bad Toy Store.
Oh,
They
okay.
haven't sold out on either of those.
Well, obviously, this guy right here and this guy.
Hey, John, I think you'd be proud. I didn't show this off earlier because it came in a few weeks ago, but on the Collector Con, I never had, like, when I was real little, I loved playing with Transformers, the real late 80s and early 90s, but I never had an Optimus Prime or Megatron, so I got
that's a good one.
So I got this, the G1, yeah. So I hope they do. I'm sure they'll do the same for Megatron because I'll need to get that.
Yeah, they've got but he's a tank version, but they will be coming out with one.
Yeah, I always wanted the gun one, but yeah,
they won't sell that in America anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, what else, John? What else is new besides these guys right here?
New this time is the Prime up there and that other Galvatron. But
look at that! Look at that! That guy is cool. Does he glow in the dark?
No.
It just has colors that kind of look like it. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's like they're gonna slowly release all the Constructicons in that format, and then eventually, hopefully, they do combine to form a giant. They'll form a giant Devastator.
What?
But then these were all a couple weeks ago. The new Skywarp, and there's a new Bumblebee and Gears. Gears is actually already in stores. So that's cool.
No. It's pre-order.
I already own them. I already got them.
Negative. You got a bootleg. That one, it's on a pre-order.
Sure.
Right.
Whatever you say. And then those are retro versions of Bumblebee and they come in a retro box.
This one?
Yep, that'll come in a retro box. And so will the Insecticon.
Do they have a picture of the box? Oh,
yeah, see?
It's a card back.
Yeah.
Look at that.
I like that Bumblebee.
Yeah, that's a cool one.
John, how come we're not looking at this stuff every week?
I don't know. I'll start putting them in the thing. Maybe that Gears comes on a retro card, and that's why he's out again. I didn't actually click on him to see the Gears guy, the red one that you said he's pre-order.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, maybe he's just. Maybe they put him on a retro card.
Look at that. Woo.
Oh, they did. Yeah. Yep. So they've reissued the same guy on a retro card. That's what they've done. Okay.
All right. Those are cool.
Like I have him from a legacy box or whatever you call it. Yeah,
I'm
cool
giving you a hard time, John, because there's only one person who ever puts pictures into the chair drive.
I'm sorry. I don't do it either.
He's actually
Rick,
not,
isn't it?
Yeah, he's actually not here because of this internet.
Hey, I gave you 3 last week. Did you use them?
You sent me those links in the thing, and then I was trying to pull them up, but then I was like, oh no, I didn't use them.
G-Force is like you could. G-Force is like you can go to Walmart and buy a real shotgun or a rifle, but you can't buy a toy G1 Megatron.
You can't show a video of it either, probably on YouTube.
What?
Well, you could show a video as long as the toy gun does not point at the screen or something.
Is that what it is?
Didn't
I can hold up a toy and gun and nobody will say anything. I won't get the live stream won't be immediately canceled.
It will. Don't you remember that happened to me?
Yeah, wasn't there someone that happened to? Yeah.
Dino got his whole thing taken down because of some vintage 1960s G.I. Joe mask and toy, right?
And it was, I mean, it said it had G.I. Joe printed on it. I don't even want to do that. I'm afraid to do that.
Oh, that was on the Toys and Fitness.
Yeah. And he's going on, and I looked over, and I mean, we'd been talking, and just maybe 5 minutes passed by because it was that fast. And I looked over, and we weren't live anymore. And I said, hey man, we're not live.
Hey, I gotta ask a question.
They didn't just shut us off. They cut you couldn't see the I was like, how come nobody's saying anything?
So
was gone, everything was gone.
So which direction does that fire in?
Both ways. Obviously.
Yeah.
I'm just messing around. I got my answer on my video, but
however, that would be nice to have. If you're going along, you want to be able to shoot forward as well as shoot anybody pursuing you. That probably poses some logistical challenges because the hot exhaust from any rocket going one direction is likely to set off the other one going the other way too.
Where does the exhaust come from?
Well, but that's what I'm getting at.
Right in the middle.
It has to go out somewhere for the propulsion.
Right in the middle.
Yeah.
It's actually 2 missiles. It splits in half.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
Shoots in both directions. Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
You want to see what I did? I'm so dumb. So I had the backpack, and there's a separation right there. So I was pulling on it, and I was digging at it, and then I finally got it apart. And it's not meant to come apart.
Oh, wow.
So it's kind of broken. I can glue it, but I think it's because this is a reused pack, because I think that's where the drone or something would have attached before. And I think that in the previous one, it was designed to come apart. I gotta look back and find the original one, but I just thought that was weird. So
was that
that I can't
Firefly backpack?
So if I hold this up, Dan, we're getting
pretty soon. We're gonna get cut off. Yeah.
All right. Anyways, all right. What else you guys got? That was the end of my presentation. You guys got anything you want to discuss?
Any thoughts on the Skeleton Crew trailer?
Oh, good. I'm glad you brought that up. Yes, let's watch my video about the Skeleton Crew.
Okay.
All right, hold on.
Yeah.
I put together my video about the Skeleton Crew.
I'm waiting.
Here it is.
Eagerly anticipating.
See if you can hear it.
When I saw the Skeleton Crew trailer,
yeah.
I just saw this scene from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Then as I watched the trailer, I just kept seeing more scenes that I felt like were from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Then it just made me think, if you don't stop and take
that's in my hometown.
You just
Could you hear it?
Yeah, barely, but yeah.
So it's just a
I'm
remake
excited
of
for
Ferris
it.
Bueller's Day Off.
Well, we'll see about that.
Except they really get lost and meet up with a Jedi.
I'm excited.
Well, that's
for it.
Ferris.
I think they could have done without. I can't remember which song was in the trailer. It wasn't bad, but it did feel just a little out of place for something Star Wars. So I'm not getting totally butthurt about it like others are, but
I didn't even notice the music. What was the music?
they had a real life song, song from real world, and
I had
like
no
an
idea.
80s song in the
I didn't even notice. I didn't even notice. I had no clue there was
notice these things.
I didn't. I don't know. I just watched the trailer to see what was in it. I think the only thing that sort of got me weirded out a little bit was the little blue elephant dude's voice.
It's
I was like, oh, why couldn't they do
has it?
Yeah, it was like, why couldn't they do like an alien? Like
it was a rework of Major Tom
language.
That's what the song was in the trailer.
Okay. I just thought they should have made like a Nuta Guta language or some kind of other language for the kid.
Well, no. So I think the species. So it's not an Ortolan like Max Rebo.
No. Max Rebo's a different species.
If you've watched Young Jedi Adventures, which I'm not sure any of you have a reason to, but I do with my young daughter. There's a species that looks very similar to that character Neil, called an Andraven. So I think it's an Andraven if you want to look that up.
I think I feel like when I watched the trailer I was like, yeah, this is pretty good. It's not, I wasn't like, I don't think I'm going to be like sitting on the edge of my seat waiting for it to come on, but it's not something that I'll probably like let stack up, right? Like I'll add it to like my queue. I'm not going to be watching it like on the Wednesday or whenever it comes out just to beat everybody's like
sure. But that, I think shows like that, that's probably good for a show like that to have lower expectations, right? It's easier to come up and be like surprised, be like, oh, I'm like, this is actually really cool. Like I wouldn't have asked for this, but and that's how I kind of felt about the Agatha show. My biggest question for this is going to be like, there are clear through lines with other Star Wars content, mainly the one pirate guy Vane who was in Mando season 3, right? But my bigger question is, how does this show really fit in with the wider Star Wars universe? Because if you take that guy out, like what does this show could just be Goonies in space. It doesn't have to be part of the Star Wars universe. So I'm curious how this story kind of folds in the larger tapestry of Star Wars.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Like when I see the trailer for the show, I'm not thinking about any of that stuff. What I'm really thinking about is like if like my grandkids are here and stuff like that, typically around the holidays, they might be here like one of the holidays or whatever. And like, we've watched stuff like The Lost in Space together where it'll be like a marathon. This will be kind of like that show. Where we'll just end up being on and everybody will sit around and watch together, I think. Yeah.
So Eric, that's interesting that you bring that up. I got a question, because me personally, like I watch shows like we just brought up The Diplomat. Let's take that for example. And I look at a show like that and go, this is extremely well written. It's got you on the edge of your seat. You're hooked with all the political drama and what's going on. And then my brain immediately goes to, why can't I have this in the Star Wars universe? You know what I mean? So like me, myself, I don't care if it's connected to, I don't know what you could say, like other characters or the Skywalker saga or anything like that. Right. I want to see that level of, or like go into something like Game of Thrones or go into something
John,
why can't I get that level or those type of stories?
Well, we did with Andor. But
you had a well-written political part of a series, and you guys just did not like what Jack Black did with the role.
There you go. There you go. Yeah.
Bombardier, whatever his name was. I liked it. I thought that was cool. I liked him and Lizzo and Mando.
I
season
did
three,
too.
and
I did too.
Yeah.
But you're not going to get that in Star Wars because that's not what people will complain about that type of a show if it's got Star Wars named on it. If you made another space universe and created a political drama, people would be like, "Oh, this is really cool." But if you tie it in
Put
any
on
way,
the Star Wars brand.
Yeah. People will go ballistic. Yeah, of course.
Oh my
I
God,
know that.
dude.
But that's it, my honest opinion. That's how you make Star Wars much better for the long haul, is to not get caught up in trying to weave everything into the grander story. Just like make
Do you think Disney should come up with like Star Wars shows that aren't necessarily Star Wars, right? That don't follow a Jedi or Sith or whatever, and then just not tell you they're Star Wars shows? Like,
that would be interesting.
You know what I mean?
I'd be down for that.
But
there's no like, think about how hard it was for like the production of like the first season of The Mandalorian to withhold like Grogu being a thing until.
No, but what I'm saying is like, not even the actors know they're in like a Star Wars thing. They're just being recruited for this like.
But at a certain point in time. Yeah, but at a certain point in time, you put two and two together, right? Like certain things would be said that like there's too much in-universe jargon, right?
I guess, yeah.
You could probably, like, don't get me wrong, it's doable. It's just highly unlikely that something like that would leak, but that would be like
the ultimate test in my mind.
That would be crazy if you just like it would be like. Imagine a show like that comes out and then the last scene or like a post-credit scene in the last episode or at the end of the movie somehow ties things together to Star Wars. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah, you're just totally not expecting. I just think it would be like, to me, that would be a great move. You know what I mean? Like,
subvert expectations overall.
So John's talking about the show The Diplomat. Have you guys seen this show called The Old Man that I was talking about that's on Hulu?
I've seen The Old Man.
It's at FX or whatever. So I got to tell you what, one of the reasons why that thing just caught me so good the first season was, so Jeff Bridges is obviously an older guy, and he is this former like CIA operative that was in the Middle East or whatever, and he's living undercover in his secret identity. And I guess somehow the story is that somebody wants him, so the government has found him. So they send people to go get him. They're sending these like trained, like special ops guys to go get him.
Takes them
and
out.
like, there's these like 5-6 minute fight scenes where he's like fighting this guy off, and it's just like, they're just like exhausted. And it's not like one of these where you get the movie where the guy comes in and he does the roundhouse kick and that guy is down, then he kicks the other guy and he's down. You know what I mean? These guys are like just going at it for like a good couple of minutes in the show, and it just felt so real. You know what I mean? Like the exhaustion.
That could be a Star Wars show.
Yeah, it could have been, and it probably will be tied into Star Wars eventually.
At the end, yeah.
I actually think it's a Tron reboot.
Tron reboot? Yeah, there you go. It's actually a Tron movie, yeah.
When we got more teasers for like the Marvel stuff coming out next year, right?
Yeah. Well, so the thing is, I've been reading these articles about Spider-Man 4, and they're talking about how Spider-Man 4 is basically like not a good thing for the Shang-Chi films, right? Like those 10 rings, I mean, nobody's been talking about them, but they've been supposedly sending out a beacon or something like that, is how the articles are. But the Spider-Man 4 may just end up wiping that slate clean. That may never come around. And I just think it wasn't, as well received as like I think they had wanted it to be. So hopefully we'll get more of the Shang-Chi, but
they moved the director from Shang-Chi, who's originally going to make one of the next Avengers movies, back to Shang-Chi 2. So
yeah.
I'm excited. We saw Cowboy Shang-Chi in the What If preview.
Oh yeah, that looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and Marvel. I'm confused about Marvel Zombies though. Like, I'll watch it, and I'm sure it's going to be great, but I'm just not sure how that's going to play out.
that only plays out into an action figure line, so you can get some more superheroes with zombies. I mean, that was Hasbro said, "Can you please make a show where these superheroes are zombies because
they sell well?"
America flew off the shelves.
Yeah.
And I thought he was done, but that Captain America was in the trailer again. The zombie Cap.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
I don't know how that's going to play out, but there's that, and then there's the Spider-Man cartoon, like the freshman year or whatever.
That actually looks really cool.
Oh yeah.
To me that is because my brother worked on that spectacular Spider-Man that Sony had done, and they tried to make it more classic looking. Like, I feel like they wanted to give it like kind of a 60s vibe, and then they had all the original villains. But this thing where they put Peter Parker like in high school, I think is totally the way to go on that character.
Yeah, that'll be good. Daredevil's going to be amazing though.
It looks good.
I liked that show that your brother worked on. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, so
I think I'm the only fan other than you, Vern.
I never watched that.
They have a whole John. There's a huge following.
Sure.
Yeah.
Anybody watching this game?
Every time I bring it up, people are like, "That was a terrible show. Why do you like that?"
There's a whole social media accounts just for like trying to bring it back.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I should go sign.
What were you asking, Dan?
If anybody else was going to watch the Squid Game.
Oh, I never saw the first one. I'll give the first one a go, but
I didn't make it all the way through the first one. I didn't see I mean, it was good in the beginning, but
you can't give up on the first episode. I mean, I was the same way. I stopped it, and then everybody just oh no, you got to keep watching. I'm like, all right. I binged through a couple, and
by like episode 4 or 5, I was like, this is the same thing every single episode. Why do I want to keep watching?
Yeah, that second season just started, and fortunately it's on Hulu, but I'm not sure when it's going to be on like Disney Plus. Maybe they'll wait until the series is over, which just ended. So that Old Man season 2 just ended. So I'd probably give it a little bit. And then
it's been out for a while.
It's 2 seasons. So they just finished season 2.
I have a question. So like, do you think that like, okay, so like, those of us who are around this age, within say like 10, 20 years of us, we like when people our age make new programming for shows, they take inspiration from stuff they watched as a kid. You know what I mean? Like, that's
it's natural,
right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So why is that true in most genres except for anime? Because
I don't know enough about anime
when I was a kid, the top anime shows, most of them had to deal with giant mechs. You know what I mean? And today, the only anime show that has giant mechs in it is Gundam. And Gundam has been going since I was a kid. So it's like, it's not like a new one that's just continued. It's just continued.
Well,
there was so many anime shows when I was young that had to deal with giant robots. And now I turn on like Netflix or any of these things that are making all these new animes, and every single one of them is about some kid in high school doing stupid shit with these girls and blah, blah, blah.
Well, John, here's what
I'm going, oh my God, like, why are any of these about giant mechs? Give me giant robots, please.
Here's my answer to your question. I think that you were watching these animated shows after they came to the States.
Yes,
there probably wasn't. These studios didn't think there's not a big market for this stuff in the States unless it's about these giant robots and it looks really cool, right? off of like Robotech and whatever. So the stuff that was being made, like most of that stuff got left behind. But now you have like the internet, and with what happened, like Netflix and stuff just buying like series from like different countries and people just being exposed to all these different types of shows, you're getting more influence. And then with like manga and stuff becoming more mainstream over the last 15-20 years or whatever, you're just getting that bigger influence now. That's why you're getting these other shows that maybe we didn't get over here before. You know what I mean? Because you never saw the Super Sentai, you just saw the Power Rangers.
Yep. That's a like, I don't know enough about everything, but that's probably a pretty good explanation. Vern.
But I'm just wondering, like, though, but what? Because when I was a kid, I watched the Dangaio. It was Guy King. There was like all kinds of stuff that were with giant robots, but
Dragon Ball Z was.
Why aren't they giant robots now?
Well, Jonathan's saying you just got to look for them. They're on Tubi.
I love Tubi, man.
Give me some shows, because the only one
I have like a. Isn't there a specific channel in one of these streaming services where it's all?
Oh yeah.
I think Disney Plus has an anime, and
it's almost all high school drama. I'm like, I can't find giant robots.
People want to watch that stuff. That drama's
I
drama.
found one. I think it was called Makurai or Makurakai or something like that. Mm-hmm. And that was like the only one I found. And I was like, man, and that was really good. But I was like, geez, where are all these other ones like this?
Yeah. Well, that's a question for maybe that can be topic of the week next week, John. We'll do the topic. Why are there no more
all my robot shows?
Yeah, give me some giant robot. So thanks, Jonathan. Send me some giant robot things to look up.
All right.
Hopefully I haven't watched them already.
All right. What do you guys got going up on your YouTube, Dan? You got something coming up this week? Giant Man review? Nothing like that?
Nope.
You can't fit Giant Man in a video, so.
John, what do you got coming up on your 17 YouTube channels? Super awesome, whatever you can think of.
There's a new video up on the game channel that's been going really good. What's funny is if I could say for a minute. So I put up a new video on my toy channel, and I get an average of 100 to 200 views, and I got almost 5,000 subscribers. We got this whole toy community around us. I put up a video. I only have 18 subscribers on the game channel. I put up a new video on the game channel. It gets 400 views immediately. Huh. I'm going, nobody is subscribed to it. No one knows about it, but somehow it's getting like way more views than my videos on the channel everyone knows about. So clearly gamers are out there searching for videos way more than toy guys are searching for videos, I guess.
JT
and they might be viewers on other like not like computers or smartphones or tablets, might be like on TVs or like through video game consoles that they're doing that, where they don't like hit subscribe or like that much.
Well, there's a lot of gamers out there that aren't going to be watching like toy videos. Yeah. John, the robots are in disguise. That's why you don't see them.
Yeah.
Eric, are you going to open that Mandalorian 2-pack and put your first video up on YouTube?
If I put a video on YouTube, it won't be for this. It'll be for something better. It'll be for something better. Actually, I busted my back moving. I had a couch to the right of me in between my desk and my wife's desk in our basement. So I cleared that. Like we're getting rid of that couch to make space for more toy storage.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
And he broke his back, and his wife took a video of him breaking his back, and that's what's going on the YouTube channel.
All right. So Halloween just passed. Who has pets? Do you guys have pets? Do you still have pets? Anybody's pets dress up for Halloween?
Not this year.
No. All right.
Do your pets dress themselves up?
Yes.
These were my dogs a few Halloweens ago.
I didn't like Attack on Titan. No, that was not for me.
That's not your dog.
Like
it is.
Is he like Mario?
No, he's
Is the little arms?
Yeah.
Did you get a video?
I do. Hold on.
Oh my god! Have you seen these? Those costumes crack me up.
I tried to do a slow motion. Hold on.
Oh wow, that is so
Oh my God.
great.
Galloping.
Yeah, that is awesome. Wow.
Anyways, that's Halloween's for pets. Anyways, everybody had a good Halloween.
Yeah, my mom was sending me pictures of all the kids that stopped by the house, and then I had to remind her that it's probably illegal. Taking pictures of little kids.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying it was illegal for them to come by the house.
No, I just don't think that a creepy old person should be taking pictures of kids.
Oh my gosh! All right, there are a lot of fun videos watching people trying to steal whole boatloads of candy. I saw one where they cut the bottom of the bowl out, then they put the bowl on the table, and then they had a thing when the guy tried to grab the bowl, all the candy fell off.
Wow.
That's clever. Yeah, I saw videos of parents, teaching their kids to take the whole bowl outside. And
I saw one video where these three kids went up to the porch and they all grabbed everything. The bowl flew off the table. They made a big mess, but one of the kids, he was like a teenager, put the bowl back up, went and picked up all the candy and put it back in the bowl. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right.
Hey,
Anyways, I hope everybody had a happy Halloween. Thanks, guys, for showing up and being part of the show as always. Thanks to everybody in the chat for jumping in and having like a really good conversation about what's going on. And hopefully we'll be able to come back next week and talk about more toys and more stuff that's happening out there in the toy community. And congratulations to Dan, who's got his new kid standing next to him. He's going to try out that carpool lane thing. And we'll catch you guys next time on the Toy Duo thing.
Stay awesome.
I feel the need for speed.
Sorry, John. I didn't mean to cut it.
Toys.